everyone. Well, we are at Furniture in Guaymas. We are paid until day after tomorrow, and we're kind of at a crossroads. We're not sure what to do. Nothing. Anyway, we have a crossing window for a couple days from now. So we could cross back to the Baja Peninsula, or we could stay here, haul out, and do some work, such as ripping off the teak deck and redoing our deck surface. So there's also some other additional factors. We understand the rules are changing at Gabriel's. He is also limited as to who we can bring in to work on our boat. We understand there is a potential opening here at the furniture yard for a couple months, and there are some workmen here that have good reputations. So we just don't know which way to go. Go cruising or get the work done while it's still cool and not too hot, and then go cruising.
If we stay here, whether it's here at Furniture or Gabriel's yard.
Right. Or even making that long haul up to Puerto Peñasco.
Which we haven't tried before.
Right. So many options.
The next morning, we decided to go look at the yards. At Furniture, with the concrete surfaced yard, everything looked clean and organized. At the other end of the bay, we spoke with Gabriel at his yard, and he told us about his new plans. For security reasons, the new yard will now become the storage yard, and the old yard will become the work yard. He will also be changing the pricing structure, and to have your boat moved from storage to work yard will be $50, and vice versa. He indicated to us that any work we wanted to hire out would have to be performed by his workers, as having independent contractors would be too much of a liability for him. On the day that we thought we would be moving to Bahia Catalina, preparatory to crossing the sea, we instead swung round to the eastern side of the furniture property and hauled out. It was an abrupt about-face for us, but after looking at Wendy and the multiple days of predicted strong northers, we elected to work on removing the teak from the deck while the temperature is still pleasant. Finding the wet wood coring when we removed the ports in La Paz was a wake-up call for us, and addressing the deterioration of the teak deck would best be handled now rather than later. We were pleased to see the bottom looking good after being in the water for the past 3 years. After a power wash, the bottom looked even better. 2 days after we hauled out and after removing and labeling deck hardware, Pepe and Alexis began the work of removing the teak.
Bend it down and put the...
So you removed the hose fill.
Remove the hose fill, remove the hose clamp, put it down here to put a piece of tape over here to keep the water
from going in.
And it broke right off.
Oh my goodness. Wow. That's a really super old hose.
Yeah.
Even what, double walled?
Yeah, double wall, reinforcement in between.
Wow.
The water fill hoses were the only section of water hose we have not replaced, and it is now on the list of pending repairs. The removal of the teak proved harder than any of us had thought. The screws that had worked their way up through the deck, popping off the bungs were difficult to remove, usually snapping in two, and the wood itself was firmly bedded in a black, flexible bedding material. After the first day of work, Pepe and Alexis found they had only made a start. The second day was progress, but it took another full day of work before they were finished. Now it is our turn. We have always enjoyed being at the Furniture dock. As for us, Guaymas is our Mexican hometown. This is the first time for us to be in this particular yard. We have the advantage of being within walking distance of grocery stores, street food, and restaurants. But with the smaller yard, there's not quite the same sense of community and of belonging to a village. We will miss Gabriel's, but with the motivation of wanting to get back to cruising, we are driven to make our stay here in the yard as short as possible. Join us next week as we delve into work on La Brisa's deck. So, until then,